lifestyle. It is a lifestyle, and it's different for everybody. There are people, some on social media, the Instagram, the YouTube, the TikToks, and they're off in their big old Sprinter vans, and they're traveling across the country, seeing all these beautiful things. And then there's people like me. Started off living in a car, and now I'm in a minivan. I'm living in a minivan in the city. Hi, my name's Chris. Welcome back to the channel. Anyway, today, after a poll on the YouTubes, you all decided that you wanted to see a minivan tour. My little tiny home on wheels. So today, that's what it's going to be. After being bombarded by seagulls yesterday, I got my minivan a car wash. Now Bobby is all clean. This is a 2006 Ford Freestar, and his name is Bobby. It's me and my Bobby McGee. We're gonna start from this door and we're gonna work our way around, and I'm gonna show you what I have, and I'm gonna show you pretty much everything. Not everything, but almost everything. Okay, so I have debated over the last year of having this minivan whether I was going to take out my seat or not. I'm still on the fence. It would give me a lot more room, but I just haven't decided yet. Anyway, in the front seat, we have my drying rack right here from when I go shower, go to the pool, and all that good stuff. In the box, I keep things that I don't use on a regular basis. Some freeze-dried meals in case of emergencies, a rain jacket, a couple books. This little bucket I use literally every day, so that's why it's up front and center. I got all my highlighters and my pens, my Bible, a notebook, some plastic straws, because here in Canada, they have the paper straws that melt halfway through your drink and have all these toxin glues to it. So yeah, I go get plastic straws. I'm such a rebel. And another notebook and all that stuff. And of course, hair clips. These are like literally everywhere in my van. In the front seat, I also keep my gym bag with all my shower supplies. Over here, this is kind of a double bag. It's kind of like my hiking bag and my go bag. I got some emergency supplies in here, like some fire starters, a compass. My plan is to have two separate bags. One hiking bag with all my hiking essentials, and then a go bag just in case, well, we need to like go. If you know, you know. Anyway, right now it's kind of combined into one, but we're getting there. Small steps, once a week, once every 2 weeks, I try to buy something really small to stock up on that kind of business. In this bag here, I have an extra pair of sneakers and my hiking runners. And then in here are my pine pellets. Oh, sorry. In this bag are my pine pellets. The pine pellets are for my potty. Now, you see, I'm an older, middle-aged older lady. The bladder doesn't work like it used to, so we have an emergency potty in the van. I'll show you that later. I use the pine pellets because when they're dry, they turn into sawdust, really easy to dispose of. On the side door, not really a whole lot of exciting things happening. I always keep an extra canister of butane in here. The rest are in my storage locker. I try to buy them when they're on sale or on clearance, and I stock up. In here is just a little bag, and then of course my little gnome, because if you gnome, you gnome. I got another Bible here, and another little bag here. I got little bags everywhere. Okay, so this is the entrance from behind the passenger seat. There's my little kitchen. We'll get into that in detail. My bed, my potty, and my fridge. Let's talk about the fridge, shall we? So if you're going to do this kind of lifestyle and you have battery power, which I will get to in a moment, I would always recommend getting a compressor kind of fridge versus, say, a 12 volt. The 12 volt, I can't remember the brand, but they are cheaper, but they're constantly running and it'll constantly draw power. You don't want that. My fridge only turns on when it needs to cool down, so it saves a boatload on power, and we want to be power mindful. I mean, unlike some people, I only have 100 amps in here. So compressor fridge is the way to go if you're going to put one in the van. So behind the seat, I just got some random stuff, a little brush, because my van gets so dirty so fast because I literally live in a construction zone. My DoorDash bag, because I do DoorDash, just some other odds and sods. I got another little bag here for when I do like some of the bigger deliveries. This little 3-piece drawer system fits just perfectly behind my bed, and in there is just all my random like deodorant, toothbrush, mouthwash, all that good stuff, hairbrush. I keep 2 sets. One in here, like one deodorant in here, one in my gym bag, one brush in here, you get the idea. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm random. Anyway, so that's what that is. I'm thinking about getting rid of this. I haven't decided yet. It's on loan, so I would just give it back to the person that I borrowed it from, but I haven't decided. Another thing I want to do is I want to build a little stand to have this come up a little bit higher, so I can still access it, but then have like a spot maybe to put some shoes or something. You know, just a little, I feel like there's a lot of wasted space, so I kind of want to get this off the ground and get that up and then be able to use the space. Underneath my bed is just some electronics and then all my clothes. I took drawers out of those plastic bin things and just use them in there. On top of my little shelf, I have, well, another book, The Invisible War. I got a USB charger because I'm always charging up, whether it's my phone or my power banks, all that good stuff. That is always plugged into my house battery, which I said I will show in a bit. And then over here on this side, I have just more clothes because I have more clothes than I know what I'm doing with, honestly. Okay, now we are inside, and this is my little kitchen. I never put this away. It's always out, but the butane is never in there. In here, I just have food storage, all my forks and knives and utensils, some plates and bowls and stuff, and then pots and pans underneath here. Up here, I built this little shelf. We need to redo it, but it is what it is. This sock, don't mind the sock. This goes over my butane. I don't know why, but I always keep a sock around the butane. I got a little notebook, some TP, some paper towel, the everything but seasoning, the biggest jar I could find because, well, it's everything but the bagel or whatever it's called. That stuff is so good. I got some air freshener because sometimes when I'm cooking in the van, it can get stinky and I don't want to smell like the food that I'm cooking. Over here is some vinegar and water. That's how I clean my utensils and pots and pans. Some ham, spices, all that good stuff over here. But this little unit, believe it or not, is a kid's PlayStation. Now, it did have some shelving in the back that I had to cut off because it would not fit. But this is the perfect size kids' PlayStation. You guys, I picked it up online, like on Marketplace for like 40 bucks. Heck of a deal. Heck of a deal. And of course, over here, I have my dog or coyote spray or people spray if they get too close. Oh, shoot. And then my mixer for my protein drinks. over here, and I have it running underneath my platform, is a 12-volt plug. I really only use this at winter, and this is where I plug in my electric blanket. I have a 12-volt electric blanket that I put underneath me, and it's a lifesaver in the winter, let me tell you. But that's what that is for. So right now, I just have a bungee cord because every time I go around the corner, these things come out. My stove stays put, but these things come out. Now, they don't go far because my bed's here, but I'm trying to figure a way, because I don't like the look of that, some little something to keep them in. I don't know. I'm sure I'll come up with an idea. The one thing I do want to mention is there is a lot of wasted space just because of the way just because of the way the van is built. I couldn't get the little, the kitchen to go back any further. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of wasted space. Now, living in a vehicle for 2 years, we don't like wasted space at all. At all. Every little inch counts. But my original idea was to build an actual, once I had some more money and I was a little bit more secure, I was actually going to build a whole thing that was coming out of the wall so there was no wasted space. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, because right now this is working for me. It's functional, and I don't know if I want to waste any more money on things that will be this van specific. Like if I go invest in a solar panel or something, that can be transferred over to another vehicle. But I'm going to be debt free next year, so I don't know what's going to happen vehicle wise. And the finance videos coming up. But so I don't really, like I said, this is working and I'm comfortable and I'm cozy. So I don't want to invest in a whole lot of things that can't be transferred from one vehicle to a next, just in case. So these are my blackout curtains. They're pretty much always up. Oh, sorry about the lighting. They're pretty much always up. I leave this one open so I can see, so I can shoulder check out my window. Sometimes I close it. But we took out the media system and just screwed the wood in to secure the curtain rod. Is it the best? No. I kind of have to mess around with the corners, but it is what it is. And then this beautiful thing my girlfriend made. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. She's a dot painter and she's so talented. Anyway, blackout curtains. Brown was really not the color I was going for, but they were at the thrift store for $7. I couldn't resist because blackout curtains in Canada are pretty expensive, so I take the $7. Okay, so here's the view from my hatch. Over here I have my camping chair, another little pot, some water, my dirty laundry. Down here I have underneath I have an axe, I have some walking sticks, some hiking sticks, I have my, to lift the van. Oh my gosh, I can't find my words. A jack, because my jack used to be back here, but obviously I can't get to that because this is secured down. So we wanted to remove the jack so I had access to it because my spare tire is underneath the van. Now, I originally had this right to the edge, but I realized that to get to my spare tire, I needed access. So we moved this forward. I put only half a floor in, so only this side of the van has a floor. And the reason I did that is because I wanted it level. I mean, it's really not level, but I wanted a smooth surface to put this and, my fridge and everything. And I didn't put it on this side because it would have raised the bed too much higher, and I'm already kind of crouching down as it is. Put a sheet of insulation underneath and built this bed, which has holes in it for ventilation. And my mattress is I think it's like a 4-inch trifold that I got off Amazon. Up here, I have a fan hanging, and then I have another fan down there that's being charged because in the summer it gets really hot and we don't want to melt. And of course, I have a little bit of decoration going on, and I do have my fairy lights. Like, what's a van without fairy lights? And it's on remote, so I can change the colors. It's like a party in here. Right? Up over here behind my pillows is another pillow. That's my Fox pillow. He goes with me everywhere that I go. And then I just have some clothes like my pajamas and my night shirts and stuff over there. And extra little emergency light just in case. The driver's side, there's nothing really there, but I guess I'll show you if you're that curious. Okay. So I got water, more pens, and of course all my hair scrunchies, because I can't do my hair in the back because I can't sit up straight, so they're all there. I got some sunscreen in the door and a window breaker if I ever need it. Okay, let's look under the hood first. You're probably wondering, Chris, why are we looking underneath the hood? Well, I'll show you in a second. I'm going to talk about my battery setup next. And it all starts under the hood with my DC to DC charger. Okay, real talk here. I'm going to be honest. So I need to refilm the entire battery setup again because I just went back into my gallery and I wasn't recording the entire time. So let's try this again. The battery. Okay. The red light's on, so we're filming, okay? Okay. I have my DC to DC charger hooked up to my starter battery. I have the wire running, and it goes through a fuse box, a 40 amp fuse box, and then the wire goes down into the firewall. I'm not going to show you, but it kind of comes... We took out the panels and it's running all through here. Excuse the dirt. I spent a lot of time at the beach and I spilt coffee today. The wire goes through this panel and then comes out here. We did put coating on it. Coating, wrap, whatever you call that, wire, whatever it's called. But here is my battery system. This gong show of a battery. So over here is my 100 amp lithium battery. Like I said earlier, I have my USB charger plugged directly into the battery. This is my DC to DC charger, so whenever I'm running the van and driving somewhere, it's automatically charging my battery. I have a fuse box. So that way if something blows, I just change the fuse and nothing else. And then I installed a dedicated 12 volt to run my fridge in here. Now I do have the negative going into a distribution block, which is attached to another fuse box. I have not done that with these wires. I know I need to, but I don't even know. Anyway, from my battery to behind my bed, I'm not going to show you, is where I have the ground wire attached. There was one little piece of metal sticking out, and we just kind of scraped the paint away, and that gave me the spot I needed to put it on direct metal. Make sense? So that is my battery setup. I rarely open this door. So let's talk about the battery for a second. It's great. And I learned a lot because I actually set that all up myself. Now I had Somebody literally standing right beside me, walking me through on how to crimp all the wires, what went where, whatever, however. And that's fantastic. And like I said, I learned a lot, and I'm pretty much an expert on how to crimp electrical wire. Do I want to do it? Absolutely not. It's a pain in the butt. Now I understand there's a lot of benefits from having a house battery versus, like, say, an all-in-one like a Blue Eddy or a Jackery. I get that. There's a lot of benefits from having a Blue Eddy and a Jackery versus having a house battery. Maybe in a future video I will talk about that, but in hindsight, it was good for me to do it this way because I didn't have $1,000 to drop on a Blue Eddy or a Jackery. And yes, I'm in Canada. And yes, that's how much they cost unless you get some kind of freak sale happening. So this way, I was able to piece it together. I bought the battery. A couple months later, I bought all the wires. A couple months later, I bought the battery charger, the DC to DC. You know what I mean? So it was easier financially for me to do it this way. And then also, if one thing goes, like if my 12 volt breaks, I just replace the 12 volt. In fact, I bought a pack of 4. I still have 3 in my storage locker. So that aspect is very beneficial to do it like this. What's not beneficial is I don't have my buddy here anymore. He went over to the mainland. So I would have to, like, figure it out by myself. And not that I couldn't, but electrical? No, I don't want to. I don't want to. If something happened, I will, but I don't want to be dealing with that kind of stuff. So if I ever, not if, when I get the extra money, I'm definitely going to invest in a Blue Eddy or a Jackery or whatever. I will do my research and find the best one for me. One thing I forgot to mention, my window covers, they are not reflexic. I do have a big roll in my storage locker that one day I'm going to get to. One day I'm going to get it all cut out and either paint the back or black it out somehow, one way or another. But right now, believe it or not, okay, so I bought it at Canadian Tire. I don't know what it would be in the United States, but it's called cargo carpet. It's carpet meant to go in the back of trucks and stuff. It's $15 for this huge roll. And it's mold resistant, it's water resistant, it's all that good stuff. So I just cut it out and Velcroed it to my windows. And they come on and off super easy. I've actually had it on now for a full year. I went through the winter and I was totally fine. But I use that. Now, the thing with the cargo carpet, it's not 100% stealth, like it's not 100% blackout at all. Now you can't see me inside because I've gone out at night to check and you can't see me, but you can see that there's a light on inside of the van. Now, while I try to be as stealthy as possible, I'm not a fool. People know exactly what's happening in the van when I'm in it. So if they can see like a little bit of light in there, I'm not that stressed, honestly. And the fact that it's mold and water resistant is a huge plus because I'm not sure if you know this, but I am on Vancouver Island, the west coast of Canada, where we have a lot of moisture in the air. We are technically a rainforest. So we can get a lot of condensation in the vehicles, and I've literally tried everything. So you can drop comments if you want, but I have literally tried everything. And the condensation's never going to go away, but these cargo carpets definitely help with like being mold resistant for sure. I understand that this lifestyle is not for everybody. I get it, 100%. But whether you're doing this by choice, or maybe you're even forced into doing it because of the cost of living, the cost of housing and everything else, I'm a firm believer that over anything else, what you have in your van to make it as comfy and cozy as possible, it's mindset over anything else. And honestly, isn't that the truth with anything in life? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the van tour. I enjoyed showing you guys what my little tiny home on wheels looks like. If you are interested to continue to see kind of how I live my life in the urban areas of Vancouver Island, a few little getaways and exploring here and there, and some real talk from the road, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And also, I hope you're doing well and staying safe. And don't forget, I hope you make somebody smile today. Bye.